Okay, Dark Talon 84 here again with another playthrough video of Final Fantasy XIV as my new account, as my new dragon human hybrid character Kristen here. And just so if you know what happened since last time, I kind of moved a little bit if you didn't notice, because I tried to get back to the same area, but like I didn't really. I had a friend earlier that helped me with getting a couple outfits that I bought from the Mog store, from the online Mog station or online Square Enix store. Well, technically, okay, Final Fantasy XIV store, but anyway. So we have another couple more glamour plates, which you guys might get to see see them. Some other glamour plates that I made earlier. If you continue to watch, and one of them you will actually see next time we're in Limsolo Minzo, which should be very soon. So let's continue the story. Now, before we actually continue the story, we're gonna go pick up a crafting class, another crafter. But first, we're gonna tune to the crystal here in Gridano, where we left off in last video. And if you saw what happened the second video in this series, there was a problem with uploading it, so I'm trying to re-upload it. So if you feel like I skipped or you missed out on some of the story, well, just wait until that video uploads. And there was some kind of problem with YouTube and uploading it, so I apologize for that, but not much that I can really do about it, and other than just to upload it again. So, and it wasn't anything on my end, it was on YouTube's end, just a problem with them just processing the video to put it up. So I removed the video that was having a problem, and I'm trying to upload it now, so hopefully this time it works. But here we are in the Leather Workers Guild. So this class, it pretty much makes like shoes, it makes pretty much anything to do with leather, or like monster hides and stuff like that. And again, if you don't want to see my character naked, you can skip ahead like a couple minutes in the video. It's just that making the character naked, it just makes the character naked, or will not really have any gear on when you switch to a new class. Just do this and get the better outfit for leather worker, so we can actually make those sandals. Should be able to make those sandals that I was trying to make. Just trying to make those sandals so that, because next time we go to Limsa Lominza, then we'll have I'll use those sandals before we go there, and put them in the glamour dresser, so I can use them for an outfit. Right, might as well go attune to this aetherite while we're at it. Too dark. Try each of these. See if one of them works, and yes, I know I can actually dye I can actually dye it without actually doing that, but I'm just trying to look at the sandals here. Not exactly the color I was going for, but oh well. I guess they'll just stay at their base color for now. But anyway, let's actually go do the story now. Before we leave Gridania, I'll just stop at the glamour dresser. I'll just go from there. If I wanted to, I could pick up a healer here, but I'm not going to. Just because I have another healer in mind that will unlock later.
So you are the Ul'dan envoy. On behalf of our fair nation, I bid you welcome. Please. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Khan-e Senna, Elder Seedseer of Gridania, and leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, our nation's grand company. I understand you bear a message from the Flame General.
So now we get to put those shoes in the glamour plate that we, or the glamour dresser that we just made, and then we get to put these shoes in it. And we can, oh yeah, we can use this so we can have a little mini airship following us around, but since it's in Limso Mensa, let's travel there. Well, you get to see the new glamour plate. I mean, kind of already saw them, but basically, well, now we're in Limsa, we're gonna use this because it's by the sea. That's my wife. Stuff that's better. So it's probably pirates. Wondering, well, this quest unlocks something that every MMO has, and you'll see what that is in a little bit. Also too, might as well unlock something else while we're at, actually we'll unlock something else, yeah, while we're at it. I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. I'm not really changing this character, so screw it. Not doing that one, but if you want to unlock it, that's basically the thing that allows you to change your character. But there's this one. And then might as well unlock one more thing while we're at it too, because each city-state has this, which we'll just unlock this one first, because this one's kind of my favorite one, and I guess now I gotta do it, since we gotta go down that way anyway, we'll do this quest as well. First, I'm gonna get this aetheryte right here, so we can just travel back here easily when we get there. But this unlocks a free dance emote. This quest does, so do these other two quests on the way back. So this way it'll make it just go a lot faster. So I'll get the dance emote and go from there, and this cutscene will actually show us doing the new dance emote. So let's go turn that in and get the dance that we just did. If I could remember how to get off of this boat. Here it is. Oh, the other side. And one in lumps in so yeah, this is the Solo Menza, the free dance emote or dance emote you unlock with a quest. You can get more by playing the game, buying open log station, or whatever. Now let's go back to the thing in the challenge log, the thing that we just were about to pick up, or about to grab before we head over to deal with their pirate problem. It's basically this like daily or weekly quests or weekly challenges that you can do for some extra rewards. So that was that quest we picked up in the inn area. And sure, I'll get more back with it. I'll get more potions because you can always use some of those, at least early on. After, once you get to like a certain point in the game, they don't really do much. And since we're still by the ocean, so it's still by the ocean, we're staying in this outfit because it's Lanosa's nearby the ocean. Well, when we get to certain areas in Lanosa, then we won't be wearing a swimsuit, but we'll be wearing, she'll be wearing the swimsuit. As long as we're in Lanosa, as long as we're in an area nearby, like a beach-like area. So yeah. And it took a while, but here we are at the first dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. It's just this, it's just telling about dungeons, how to access them, and everything. It's just all it's doing is just telling you, just say I understand what I must do, and then you can hit the thing to go to it. We can queue up for it for other players, but because for the sake of time and not having to wait so long, we're just gonna queue up for it with NPCs. So that way it's a little bit faster. Well, not really faster, but faster to get into it. And here we go, the first dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. With other players, you're gonna want to do more multi-target attacks or AoE attacks. But just since these NPCs, they don't really attack more than one, don't really know what an AoE attack is, you don't really have to use them with it. And this, always read this paper. This last sentence here tells you the answer to a puzzle a little bit later on in the dungeon. So since it says red, the answer to the puzzle is red. You'll see what that means. If you're new, you'll see what that means in a little bit. Or a little while when we get to that point. on in the game, the dungeons get more complex. Like the higher the level, the harder the game gets. This part, make sure to kill the clans because they summon all those fireballs. If you're dealing with other people, they're probably going to try to pull more enemies at once. And as long as the group can handle it, then, and their internet can handle it. Sorry, I just sneezed there. But as long as the group can handle it, and as long as everyone's like internet can handle it, then it should be fine. But just try to ask to see if people are okay with doing big pulls if you're playing with a group. This is where the thing is for that paper we read earlier. So there's green, blue, and red, and since the paper said red, then we hit red, and it's not always the same every time you do it, so just pay attention. And then we hit this switch, and then the first boss shows up. The first boss of the game. And here's the second boss, the world's first battle with him. Looting the chests, but you can. They give you more gear. I'm just not looting them because the gear we have on is the exact same as the stats as what's in the chest. earlier dungeons, you'll see that, especially starting at level 50, you'll get a lot more skills. Blizzard 2, they are multi-hardware tanks. I'm just mostly just using single hardware tanks, mostly because, well, the NPCs, they don't know what a multi-target attack is. And here's the second battle with the second boss. final boss of this dungeon. Zone prevents more enemies from showing up. Skills, but we're going to use it because there's a whole bunch of enemies. Break is where you can do like a stupidly overpowered attack if the limit break meter has at least one bar. The more bars, the more powerful the attack. As you can see, got a decent amount of gil from that. So let's travel back to Mensa. This way nearby, but we can always just go up here. to go back to Gridania. And since we're back in Gridania, time to change back to the outfit. So Central Shell is just this way. Okay, it works. Whatever. And here we are, the second dungeon. And don't worry, the first three dungeons are kind of right in a row, but like after the first three, they're kind of a couple levels apart in the story. And there are some side dungeons too. And for the sake of few times, we're going to be using the NPCs again. So that way it doesn't take forever to get in. The Black Mage will be at like level 30 and just feeling like Black Mage you'll be a lot more Black Mage, a lot more fun than no, sorry I had to yawn all of a sudden, but Black Mage is a lot more fun. the thing, the chests for the first 3 dungeons just because the gear that I have. That I have on is stronger than, or the same stats as the gear in the chest for the first 3 dungeons. Doing AoEs now to get it so it gets done kind of scary. don't really need to go into that. We don't really need to go into that room. Done with this dungeon. Hit the wrong button. The team use was it on skate or whatever it's called. I meant to use that and I accidentally did Blizzard. Whoops. Oh well. Okay, so due to this video, this video is not too long. We will be turning in this quest, and we will be going to Uldab, but we will not be doing the next dungeon in this video. However, we will be doing it in the next dungeon as the first thing in the next video. Or we will be doing the next dungeon as the first thing that we do in the next video. Well, one of the first things. So, due to with my current recording software only having a 2-hour limit as to what I can record or how long, I'll be showing something else that we can do now. Well, unlocking something else that we can do now. Actually, we can go to Alda for free. But we're not gonna do this quest just yet. We're gonna do something else that I think you all might find interesting. Oh, and since we're back in Alda, say a change of outfit is in order. Actually, we'll wear something different. Yeah, we could just make those shoes yeah, we'll just keep our default, our our race boots on. Cause honestly, I kind of like these boots, and I like the outfit. This quest we just picked up, we're gonna do it real quick, and I think that this place is something that most players will enjoy. So without further ado, let's show this place off and show some of the stuff you can do at this place. Yep, and if you played Final Fantasy VII, this is literally the casino from Final Fantasy VII, just in Final Fantasy XIV. So we're gonna do this quest, we're gonna do this quest real quick, and then I'll explain some stuff about it. got triple triad cards. Basically, you can collect these. You get them in like dungeons. You can also buy them with MGP from the trader here. But like, basically, we're gonna play this game. So. This is the tournament thing. We gotta get MGP first, but basically, there's numbers on these cards, and that number is like attack and defense from that direction. So like, if there's a 2 on the left side of your card and a 1 on the right side of the enemy, of the person you're facing's card, then you win. Basically, the numbers are numbered 1 through 10 or 1 through 9, and and then there's also the letter A, which A is automatic win. And these gates, they're basically the gatekeepers. They teleport you to special events that happen in the gold saucer, like just where you can complete them and earn MGP or earn more gold salt money for this area. And then this jackpot thing, it's kind of like a lottery thing, but where you win MGP. And then you basically can get like new outfits and emotes and stuff like that with the MGP. basically, just always try to go to this guy every day if you can. I'll just show you what it is. I should be able to do it. But you can use that thing. Oh, just give me for 100 MGP to try it so I can show you guys how this is. So basically it's a scratch ticket thing, and this shows how much you'll get. Damn. Well, I'm not gonna win the jackpot with this one, so I'll just pick a random one. Okay. If you do it 3 times a day, the reset is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you can see the different prizes and stuff that we can get. We can get all these different outfits and stuff. Oh wow, they added some new outfits. Interesting. I wanted to get some of these. Yeah, these are new. I haven't seen these. Wow, I'm definitely gonna have to get these. You know, minions, stuff like that. New hairstyles. New dances. Stuff like that. Stuff from there. But anyway, that concludes this video. So I will see you guys next time. And next time, I'm gonna stick around here in the gold saucer and try to play some of the games and stuff and get some MGP so I can get some of these items and can use them as. Get some of these items for glamour and some of the emotes and stuff here. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And one last thing, if you're wondering, next video we will be continuing the main quest line, unlocking and doing the next dungeon as one of the first things that we do. So I'll see you guys all in the next video. Hope you enjoyed watching my playthrough video and explaining how things work in this game.